Welcome to Tips and Tricks. You know, it's so funny. You go to the store, you buy cantaloupes, you buy melons, you buy all these things, and you go home and everybody has been taught in their mind to cut it in half and then work backwards and, make these like crescent moon cuts. And at the end of the day, you have all these, some pieces that are little, some pieces that are big, and they're all kind of all over the place. What I'm gonna teach you today seems really silly, but what it is how to cut a cantaloupe or any melon. So we're gonna start very basic. We're gonna cut off the ends so you make a flat surface. And if you're doing this to, make a great fruit salad, amazing. But what we're doing this for is more important, cocktails. So we're gonna take our knife and you're gonna go in a direction. Don't worry how you're doing it. You're just gonna take this and you're gonna skin it down. And yes, is the first time you're gonna do this perfect? No. Is the 11th time you're gonna do this perfect? No. And then if you put a camera on you, it will never be perfect. So what you wanna do is, create a space that you're not trying to dig around and get this like pulpy, midsection that's all gooey and delicious. You're trying to make this so it's really pretty, right? So what you can do is you get to this point and you're cutting all this and you look on the back and you're like, oh, I missed all of this. And you can take your knife, clean it up, and just take it off. And you're just trying to get this area that you can use to create a much better presentation of using cantaloupe. And this is a great trick if you run a bar program as well, also for professionals. So you're not trying to like fight the seed. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your knife, you're gonna come down, and we did a great job because we're only gonna get the section that is nice and full, full. The thing is full. No, the section that's just nice and firm. You can take that, and we're gonna take this, and we're gonna save this. Very important. We're gonna use this later. Set this aside, and what you have here is a nice uniform way to start making your cuts to make your cube fruit. So when you have a recipe that calls for, 5 to 6 cubes or ounces or whatever, you have a way to make these nice little cuts, and you'll have it so that you can utilize this in cocktail recipes. And what I like to do is just put it into a bowl and you have it set aside and you can keep going. And if you want, you're doing something fancy or you need to make garnishes and you want to do a different kind of cut where, you have longer cuts like spears. If you want to do, you do your diagonals, thinner. And you could do more of a fan garnish, or however you want to use it, where you do something like this. You have this like little diagonal, or you can wear it in your hair, which I think is kind of fun. You never know what you want to do with it, right? You throw that in there. So we're going to keep throwing our fruit in there. And then finally you have this last, piece and you're like, oh, what am I going to do with it? Well, something fun. And this is more if you are culinary and you want to like do something cool for your guests at home and you're not afraid of your knife. And I highly recommend if you are afraid of your knife, please don't ever do this. And I take no responsibility and I don't have any insurance for you using a knife at home. You kind of make these like sheets, right? And what I like to do with this is instead of, using this for, using crackers in the keto day and age, right? Which you're not supposed to have fruit either. I like to just take this and make these little squares. And then I take a little bit of like goat cheese and some like Maldon salts, and you have these like perfect little cantaloupe crackers. You can put a little prosciutto on top or whatever you like, and then they look really nice and you can eat it too. Catch me on my next trick.